Hi, everybody. My name's Brian, but I go by King Duffy. And don't worry, we're going to get into discernment pretty soon, and then you'll be able to discern whether I actually literally think I'm a king or whether it's a figure of speech because I believe that we are all the kings of our own reality. So, let's start the topic of what is discernment. Well, there are two different definitions. There's a more spiritual definition and then the more literal definition. The more literal definition is what I believe most of society runs on. It's the idea that you look at a situation or a thing or anything really in life and say, is it good or bad? Should I have it in my life or should I not have it in my life? And you judge it, right? You have to put it in that category. Good, bad. Now, what if there was another way to discern? And the other way of discerning is to look at something and to perceive its value in this world, in this reality, and especially to you without judgment. So you don't judge it, right? And I'll give you an example of this. Because back in the day, I had a terrible drinking problem. I'm not fucking kidding when I say this. If I had alcohol touch my lips, it was at least 10 beers. And I have friends that can tell me this. They're like, dude, and you wouldn't stop. And you're a strong guy. No one could stop you. And you would get violent. You'd be like, no, I'm gonna drink. I'm drinking today. Yeah, so when I first started tackling my issues of alcohol, I used the first definition of discernment that I told you about. And I said, well, okay, if alcohol is so bad and I can't have it in my life, then I need to remove every single individual instance that could pop up in my life where alcohol is present. And that was my thought process. I was like, oh, well, that's a good way to quit alcohol. Not so much. It turned out that I never actually got control of my drinking issue because I just avoided it entirely. I never actually dealt with my problem. Whereas the other version of discernment allowed me to still go to the bars. Because the first one, I lost a lot of friends. I wasn't going out to the bars. I wasn't going out to parties. If there was somewhere where there was alcohol, there was weed, even a family gathering, I would be an asshole about it. I was like, oh, I don't drink, and you should know that I don't drink, and don't try and tempt me. And I would put it on other people instead of just keeping it in myself. Because the truth of the matter is that true discernment is the ability to be around that which you perceive as being a negative thing for you, or whether it's a good thing for you, and choosing internally whether to accept it into your life. I can be around an entire group of people drinking alcohol and smoking weed now and not drink or smoke weed because I've discerned that it's bad for me, right? And then that's when you can grow and you can move on. And after I did that for a while, now I can finally drink again. And guess what? I don't have that taste anymore. I can drink 2 beers and cut it off. I can drink 1 beer and cut it off. I can take a sip and cut it off because I killed the attachment to the alcohol through discernment. Now, what would be another example of discernment just in a daily life perspective? Okay? Not something that's like a terrible habit or something you need to get rid of or, oh, like this person's bad for me so I can't be around. Nothing like that. Let's just say you wake up one day and it's pouring fucking rain. I mean, it is just pouring. It is so loud. There is thunder. There is lightning. You are scared. It's flashing. A lot of people will look at that and say, what a terrible day. What a terrible day it is. Oh my God, look at it, it's so ugly. It's hurting my eyes. I don't want to look up. It's gloomy. Oh, it's gray. Oh my God, it's raining. Guys, what if I told you there's another way to look at it as well? Right? When it's raining, the thing I like to think about is what is rain? It's life. Water is life. None of us would be alive. If you stop drinking water for 3 goddamn days, you are dead, brother. And if you don't have rain anywhere on the planet for weeks, all the food dies. All the vegetation dies. The animals start to die. Everything dies. It's a cycle. You need the rain. And that's using discernment in the second way as opposed to the first. The first way, it's more of like an internal like struggle between you and the item. You're like, I don't like this rain because I like when it's sunny. And it's hurting my feelings. Okay, I get you. I hear you, brother. However, that rain is going to lead to a incredibly bright sunshine. After the part's cloud and it's been gloomy all day, that sun is the most beautiful thing you've seen. Oh, and guess what? It's been raining, so guess what now? There's rainbows! We love rainbows. Rainbows are awesome. All right? And then the next day when you wake up, the grass is greener, the flowers are brighter, everything is beautiful, there's dew on the ground. Right? That's discernment, guys. Discernment is just taking your judgment of everything out of your mind. Do not judge it. View it without judgment to glean for yourself what can be gained from this situation. Okay? Not everything in life is negative. All right? And I fully believe that life is fair. I used to believe it wasn't fair. But then when I figured out the whole idea of reality creation, how this game works, and how discernment works, is the things that you fill your head with are the things that fill your reality. So if you're just focused on the bullshit, and you never go through the act of discernment to get rid of it, then guess what? Your reality is never going to change. But if you use the power of discernment to figure out the things that negatively impact your life, and then you choose to push those away, and then you use that same discernment to find the things that are good and a benefit to your life, and you bring those in, well, guess what, guys? Your life is awesome. It's pretty fucking cool now, eh? Yeah, I like it. So, it's kind of all I wanted to talk about. First video, I'm not really comfortable doing this whole thing yet. I don't even have social media. So, we'll see how this one cooks. But I just want to leave you with a small message, and that is, please, 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 every single moment of every day, just try and be completely present and be conscious of what is happening. And if you feel happy, or you feel sad, or you feel angry, any emotion, I want you to dig into it. I want you to think about it, and I want you to ask yourself, why is this bothering me? Why do I feel the way I feel? If I want to feel different, how can I feel different? If I don't want to feel this, why am I feeling it? Come to those conclusions within your heart of hearts and change your actions using discernment to achieve your perfect life. And that's all you have to do, guys. Life is so beautiful. It's so easy. You just have to view it that way. Know that everything you want, and you can see in your dreams, in your future reality, is already secured. It's done. You wouldn't be able to perceive it within your imagination if it wasn't real in some future reality already. You wouldn't be able to imagine it. How could you? The world would be completely different. I want you to imagine right now your perfect life, what you imagine your perfect life to be. And discern for yourself if it's real or not. And I think if you look at it enough, you'll say it is real. Because there are things in here that are different than I have in my current life right now. But I know deep down I'm going to have them. But somehow it's all together. It's put together. I didn't even pick the colors on these walls. But somehow it's just perfect for me. Like everything just falls in place. The more you focus on it, the more you discern. So guys, thank you for listening. I love you guys. Use discernment. Be good. Always do the right thing. And love one another, no matter what.